Hello plant friends, my name is Jimmy. I'm a doctor and tropical plant hobbyist in LA, and this channel is about plants. So this series is on SoCal Tropics. They are a husband and wife duo in San Diego, California. They have 17 years experience growing, collecting, selling plants. 17 years. That's before the plant craze, before the aroid craze, before the social media craze. They've seen it and done it all. It was a privilege and a pleasure going to their place and sharing their knowledge and passion and plans with you guys. Without further ado, let's get on with the show. And then this one, okay, so this one is
That is the small leaf Monstera Delicioso aurea.
the aurea. I like that you have a lot of aurea. Aureas I feel like were very underappreciated most of the year. And then I feel like now they're really popping up. A lot more people are probably asking you for them, right?
They are.
They're the next big thing.
I just like how their variety of their colors. I feel like you have such more variety in them than the the alba or the Thai. But okay, speaking of everyone's like hottest plant right now. Wow.
It's multiple. We have over 100 of them growing throughout our home.
Landscape.
We have multiple plants in each pot to give it a fuller look, but also because we do propagate and sell, it's just easier for us to...
Holy moly.
Fun fact, that was the first plant we ever sold on eBay.
Probably for a lot less than what they're going for now,
Yes,
right? Jeez.
probably a plant as tall as that, but it's one of the single stems there, probably for $75.
In some parts of Europe, they're cheaper, but I feel like European prices are going to go up as well as the demand.
I believe so.
Is that? But yeah, this is a really, really nice one. And yours, you really don't have that much browning. This specimen that you have has a lot of interdispersed.
Yeah, and more of a marbled variegation.
Yeah, a marbled
than
variegation.
sectored. The more sectored variegation, the more it's going to brown out quicker. With the browning on these, expect it. That just comes with the plant. The sectored not only has more of a chance to revert, we've noticed more to go green, but the white as well on the sectored ones is guaranteed to brown out.
Yeah.
And especially if you get an all white leaf, expect that leaf not to survive very long.
I think that's a good term, guaranteed. Yeah. I think that's a really good term that people should, instead of like, oh, it might do it. I think if you say like guaranteed, that really sets the expectation.
More or less, it's kind of prematurely brown out. The green.
My preference and tip is the more marbled,
Yeah.
the better your chances of the less browning.
Yep.
Because there's more of the chlorophyll going throughout that leaf.
Yeah.
And I just like the main stem is stronger when they produce the marbled than the sectored, because the sectored is where a part of that main stem is green, a good portion is green, and then you get a little bit of white. But with the marbled, it's like a candy cane.
Yep.
You've got it all through. So that's what you kind of want to look for. That's my opinion.
Yep. Yeah.
And everybody has their preferences. And as the plant grows, there's no guarantee that the marble will stay that way as well. Again, because it's a chimera, as the main stem keeps growing, it could turn more sectored.
Yeah.
We've had that happen as well. So it's just, when you're acquiring the plant, I would recommend looking for a more marbled effect with the variegation.
Yeah.
And not to say it's going to stay like that. It may go all green eventually. It may go sectored. But that's a good one. And always buy a rooted plant.
Yeah.
I just think that it gives you, in a bigger plant that has more than 2 or 3 leaves, or at least keep it 3 or more leaves.
Yeah.
If it's got 1 leaf, it's going to take a long time for it to look really nice.
I'm sure you guys get asked, what to look for when you're looking for a variegated monstera. I always tell them like the first thing is, I think, variegation. I think some people, they don't really think about the variegation percentage, or sort of like they kind of get a plant that's less variegated and then they hope that it becomes like more variegated. And I always tell them that's not something to be hopeful.
It's a gamble in a sense.
Yeah.
So start out with a plant that really looks good, and always, when you're buying a plant from a seller, ask for lots of pictures. Ask for pictures of the main stem, different angles, because you want to see the whole stem.
So you guys take a lot of
tons.
credit into the stem, the importance of the stem.
That's really important.
That's more important than the rest of
Like the
plant
leaves?
is the veining in the stem.
Right.
Something I can show you though. It's kind of something neat that I've figured out over the time. You can see even the main vein right here coming up from the stalk.
Yeah.
You'll see there's more white variegation on that side of that main vein, and thus there's getting to be more white variegation over there, and the green is more green on this side of the vein.
Mm-hmm.
Thus you're getting more green there too. So it carries up from the stem
Yeah.
all the way up to the end of the leaf there on the veining there. And
I think that's a really good tip because I want more pictures of the stem. It's not something you ever hear anyone say, like I want pictures of the roots, show me pictures of like all the leaves. It seems like, the stem is, it seems like that's where the real money or the really value.
Yeah,
if there's no leaves on it, you just get a stem cutting. You want to get it to where the actual bud node is on the variegation. And if that bud union or the node is on the variegation, it will pop out more variegated.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's especially important in the sectored stems, right?
For sure.
I think it's tough, especially as a new collector. I guess a lot of people don't really tell you that, right? And then you all you see are like tons of posts on social media about people who grew this giant plant from nothing, right? Like, and it's just like all these success stories. But then you don't hear about people who are just like, oh, mine died. Like for every one success story, it's
maybe 10
Yeah,
didn't make
yeah,
it,
yeah.
or turn out to be variegated or too variegated.
So when we're talking about stem propagation, we're referring to, like a stem with 1 or 2 nodes, without any leaves, without any roots. And, people are trying to grow plants, full plants out of these little stems. And yes, it is very possible. Aroids are, absolutely amazing plants, and yes, they can grow out of very, very little. So in medicine, we have this term called publication bias. And that means that, the studies that get published and spread and, get into the news and stuff they lean and are skewed towards the sensational, right? The sensational or new or novel or exciting. This new technique worked, or, just recently discovered is this or that. And those studies that are providing something new and exciting tend to reach the journals and get published and reach the news more often than the studies that go like, nope, it still didn't work, or nope, it still isn't new. So I think when we're talking about albo stem cuttings or stem propagation, I think we kind of get that bias in there as well, right? So you'll see posts and comments and pictures about, I bought this little stem cutting, for like $20-$30, a year ago, and now I have this like huge plant, right? So you'll see that, but everyone who is like, oh, I bought a stem cutting and it died, they're not posting, right? They're not showing you images of that. They're not posting stories about that, or at least not as often as the ones that are successful. So I just want to put that out there. If you are doing really well with stem propagation, and you're having a really high success rate, that's great. It's definitely possible. But I just want to caution people who are starting out and maybe not have that much experience with plants or stem propagation. I just want you guys to know that it is a risk. And yes, it's super tempting. I don't think anyone would, doesn't understand that. I mean, the prices for variegated monstera and also other rare philodendrons, they're just, ridiculous these days. So it's super, super tempting to, try to buy these little stem cuttings for a lot cheaper and grow your own plant. Yeah, super, super tempting. I just want to caution people that it definitely is a risk. There are definitely some plants that I do recommend to buy as cuttings, and the plants that are much faster growers, are much easier growers. There's definitely a lot of, quite a few plants that I recommend to buy as, small plants or small cuttings. It's just that, if we're talking about variegated monstera and some of, some of these other plants, I just want to say that it's more of a risk than it may seem or made to seem on social media. Okay.
Because we water root, we take tons of pictures of the roots as well, so you can see that they're healthy.
Yeah.
And, and people always say, well, I don't want to buy a water rooted plant because when I plant it, it's going to go into shock, or it's
people say that. Yeah,
they do say that, but we've never had that issue. We water root our own mother stock. We stick it in our potting mix, and they do their thing. We've never lost one.
You have to water them once every 2 weeks for the first couple waterings, and then right back to the regular.
Okay, and then you have a little bit more of a
you have one of those
controversial ones. People either love these or hate the naming of these. This is a mint, right?
Well, it's actually annoyed,
so that's even better.
Yeah, there's no ID on it. So I know that Enid and Barry Schwartz have had their specimens for years. I don't even know where they got them. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But it is another chimera. It has not been recognized. The mature leaf size does not get as large as the true large leaf variety, nor the small leaf Borsigiana.
Okay.
It's an in-betweener. And it's not, everybody's calling it mint. Yes, because it's chimera, it can throw this mint.
Yeah.
But as you see, because it is a chimera, it can also have the standard, here's a Borsigiana albo next to it, the white.
Yeah.
So it's not going to stay true mint. It's going to change.
Do you think it's annoyed, and you don't think it's like a particular cultivar, like just like a particular strain of
Nobody
albo,
really knows.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's very into the Monstera and has a long history with them, and he just says it's annoyed right now, and it's called an in-betweener size mature leaf when it does mature. And it will get the fenestrations as it grows. Right now it's still young, but eventually
this is a very, very impressive specimen. Yeah, I was always under the impression that it was some cultivar or some like strain of the albo. No. But no, I think it's very obvious though when like people look at this. This is not an albo. The pattern. The pattern is just
different.
Not.
So it can throw that mint. Now I have seen the small leaf Borsigiana have some mint variegation as well.
I will defer to the experts on
oh yes, and the person I know is true.
But this is, gosh, like super, super stunning. Like if you go like right next to the albo, I like how you have it right next to the albo, and it's you can definitely tell that.
In Thailand right now, what is it? $1,800 up for one node, one leaf cutting.
Yeah, this plant is ridiculously expensive in Thailand. Like I think it's more expensive in Thailand than here.
I believe so.
Right? Like, yeah. It's expensive here too, but
they want it bad. A friend of mine said if you just cut a couple notes off of there, you can make a fortune right now over there. And they're like, nope. We're collectors too. I don't always just want to just chop everything.
Oh my gosh. This is let me see, and then I think you can see some variegation in the stem of this as well. Yeah, and it's you're right, it's not white at all. It's just a grain. Wow, this is a really impressive specimen. Yeah,
I've had that a year and a half, I believe, or 2 years now.
Couple years.
2 years.
Do you feel like this thing grows faster than the albo?
I would say it's about the same.
Not the same.
Yeah, average.
I love anything with like a really, really dark leaf, and then like some white next to it.
I know. Me too.
Initially, when we got that plant, it was probably about half that size.
Oh yeah, or a third actually.
Like in a year, yeah.
Some old pictures of it.
Yeah. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks so much for watching, and again, like, subscribe, comment, and also check out SoCal Tropics. Until next time, happy planting.